Hi Cancer, welcome to your August 2018 tarot reading. So we have a predominance of your second house placements, okay? So we have the sun in your second house, we have the new moon on the 11th, I believe. Well, the solar eclipse is on the 11th. I think the new moon is the same day too in your second house, and we have Mercury retrograding there as well for most of the month of August. It stations direct on the 20th, but you may find that your mind this month is drawn to money. You're drawn to value. The most common question people have with money is, how do I get more? How do I save more? It's all about an accumulation of money. But the second house also rules our fundamental wants, needs, and values as a person, and our self-worth, our inner beliefs of ourself. So the combination of the two is actually quite significant. The relationship between the two is completely intertwined. Your worth and your money are linked, whether or not you realize it. So if you're spending a lot of money, it may be spending money to make up for the fact you feel you lack something. If you're saving a lot of money, it may be a fear that you won't be able to look after yourself if something went wrong. There is a mentality within your mind that will be addressed this month in your fundamental relationship with your money and your self-worth as a person. I sort of feel like a closed energy. A lot of you are saving money to protect yourself, but a lot of you also are spending too much money to surround yourself in a protective bubble, like hoarding, putting so many possessions upward as sort of a shield. We also have some sort of relationship here that these cards that came out. We have a King of Swords, we have a Queen of Wands, and we have the Knight of Swords. So we have air sign and fire sign energy off the bat. You could be dealing with any one of these people. You could be ranging from someone who is a partner to someone who is a teenager, man, woman, teenager, that type of thing. Early 20s as well for the Knight of Swords. But the energies aren't entirely matching of your own is the point here. These are people that aren't getting you exactly. There is a difference there. And I believe with the Knight of Swords, it may be sharper energy coming in that comes in so quickly you don't feel like you have time to build a defense system. The Knight of Swords comes in quick, and someone that comes in quick, particularly during a Mercury retrograde period, can leave just as quickly. A lot of the times traditional astrologers will advise you, don't start a romantic relationship while Mercury is in retrograde, don't begin a contract when Mercury is in retrograde, things like that. So we have an era of nostalgia, so don't be so hard on yourself if you're feeling somewhat nostalgic during this period. There are a lot of retrogrades in the sky, and Mars is retrograding too. About most of the planets, bar Venus, are retrograding, and Venus retrograde is enough as it is, so that's fine that that's not there, but there's a lot of intense energy retrograding. We also have Venus moves into Libra on the 12th, which is a fellow cardinal sign. It's fourth house energy. So some of you may unfortunately be dealing with a few burst pipes in the home. This is the way I'm seeing it. Things going wrong in the home, dropping things, breaking things. Nervous energy manifesting as little minor accidents around the home. Okay, so those are things to look out for with the astrology, but we'll get into the tarot because I do feel like there's money concerns, and I do feel like there's possibly confidence crisis with that Nine of Pentacles and the Tower energy as well. And you're putting too much pressure to make progress during a period where nobody's making any progress. Well, you feel like you're not, you are, but it's more a reflective period more than anything else. Two of Swords, deadlock, stalemate, lack of progress. This is exactly where your mind is at. Feeling like you cannot progress. It is probably because you don't have the whole picture. As you can see here, she's blindfolded. She's not seeing the full picture. She's not getting the full perspective of what is actually going on around her is the most important part. She is defensive. She's two swords covering her as protection. Two swords for one person. The image in itself proves that she's going overboard with what it is that she's trying to protect, because unless you're some sort of samurai warrior, I don't think most people could maneuver two swords at once. I mean, one's pretty heavy, so I don't think so. Juggling as well is what's crossing you. You're not feeling like you can take on more than one project. You're not feeling like you can make ends meet. You're not feeling like you're getting anywhere. The 2-2 energy as well suggests that this could be in relation to a partner. Maybe you're feeling your relationships are out of whack. Maybe there's not equal give and take. Maybe you're feeling a little bit kind of at a crossroads, but not feeling really. It's more like a crossroads with the barriers down. You know, both ends seem to have a barrier for me. The Three of Cups is in the past position, so this may be in relation to your social network. It may be in relation to an air sign person, particularly if it's a female. It could be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, as I mentioned at the beginning. There seems to be an air sign energy coming through, but this may also represent you in a single mode where you're feeling unlovable. You may be feeling lonely, or you may be wondering, will the King of Swords that came out at the beginning match this lady to progress forward? You may be feeling like you're becoming increasingly aware of your solitude if you are single, or you're feeling kind of lonely in a relationship if you're in one. The Star card arrives to bring us hope, though. This is in the potential outcome position. This is Aquarian energy. It's all about injecting some hope into a situation, not to give up if you're feeling a little bit lost. You know, the traditional, in the Bible, the shepherds followed the star as guidance. This is here to let you know that you have guidance. You have something presents itself this month to give you guidance, to move you forward, regardless of your religion, of course, but this is all about seeing a bright light in the sky when you're feeling a little bit in the dark, as represented by the blindfold that we began the reading with. The Page of Swords is coming up as well, so there's a lot of air sign energy in this reading. It may, as this is kind of a tricky page, he would be the least favourite in many cases. It can represent that Mars retrograding in Aquarius is causing you a little bit of a hiccup. Okay, so that is your 8th house energy as a Cancer. And the 8th house energy is a bit taboo. It's all about the darker aspects. Scorpio energy. It's feeling the darker aspects of our personality, our relationship with other people's money. There may be court conflicts with other people's money that is on your mind at the moment, or feeling like you don't have enough money, feeling like there's a hole in your pocket in some instances here. There seems to be a lot of Swords energy so far in this reading, and Swords are all about mentality, so your mentality is what needs to be looked at this month more than anything else. We have the Three of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles in your surrounding circumstances, so money tensions are likely to receive a helping hand, or another project is going to present itself where you can make money. This is you at the end of the month, getting back to who you are as a person. We cross from the Queen of Swords into the Queen of Cups, which is your energy. Getting out of your own head and into your own heart. Making decisions with your emotional guidance system rather than an anxiously driven guidance system which isn't working for you. And a new mentality. A new mentality for the month of August for Cancer. That's nice. Retrograde energy is going to address whatever it is that needs addressed, and with that many in the sky, you can't fight against it. It's a losing battle to fight against it. Don't be so hard on yourself for being nostalgic. But also, realize there may be a reason something pops up in your mind every so often, or a person. Sometimes we haven't got the full picture and we try to progress anyway without the actual digestion of what's happened before. And that can lead it to come back during retrograde periods whenever you're not protected against those energies. So the Hermit card here suggests the isolation that I mentioned before with the Queen of Swords. You may be feeling lonely, whether this is as a single person or in a relationship. If you've recently started dating somebody, it may be a Virgo, and you may find that they need a lot of alone time, or you're fighting for time with them. You may be retreating from conflict around you as well with the Hermit energy and the Five of Wands. There's been so many delays and a lack of progress that you're starting to retreat more than anything. Some of you are romantically involved with either an air sign or a water sign that is relatively new, and you're still trying to get to know this person. They're very different. They have a different way of handling things, a different communication style, maybe different communication needs and wants. As I say, the second house energy is a lot to do with our needs and wants as a person and how they manifest in our relationships. But the Nine of Wands here with the Star suggests that you don't give up on what it is that you really want, or you don't give up on the hope of finding something that it is that you want. The Death card energy suggests you are going through a transformation, and it may be necessary with the Hermit to go inward first. Spend a bit more time alone and really recharge yourself if you've hit a flat line for now. Four of Pentacles is what I said at the beginning with that saving energy or protecting energy. He's protecting himself first and foremost. He's using his money as a shield. So maybe you're working hard and working longer hours to make ends meet. Or even some of you may be putting work as an excuse not to commit to something else or not to emotionally... I think some of you are using money to cope with a heartbreak or a fear of a heartbreak. So you're putting more time into the work that you're doing. You've known financial hardship or you've known emotional hardship, and you're trying to find a way to make yourself feel more comfortable and more protected. Some of you are losing sleep over money and are working very hard but feeling like there's no reprieve, but there is going to be a reprieve. The Four of Wands, in whatever form it takes, whether it be love, whether it be finance, whether it be career, or whether it be wanting to know if something's going to happen in your social life, it's always a pleasant surprise, especially when it comes up with the Queen of Cups. As a Cancer, for those of you dealing with a water sign, particularly male Cancers dealing with a female water sign, there could be a commitment here, or there could be a stable relationship, engagement, or a marriage coming up for you guys, okay? Underneath we have the Knight of Pentacles, which, if that is the case for you, is a happily ever after. Some of you may also be dealing with an earth sign who is coming into the picture, or has come into the picture, who seems to want to communicate with you. So this could be the beginning of something, it could be the reigniting of something, or it could just be, it could be work messages coming through that are positive, you know, hearing good news about work. If you went for a job interview, it could be that you got the job. If you went for a pay rise, it could be that you got the pay rise, certainly. Let's see. Some of you are definitely dealing with an earth sign or leveling up in your career, rising up in the ranks. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo for sure, that you're not sure where you stand with emotionally because this is crossing you. You may be interested in a Virgo who's not giving you communication, and then you get it this month, but they may not have the same, I do feel like there's someone in your life that doesn't have the same emotional expression as you, and it's causing problems, okay? I do feel like you are a bit frustrated with the way your romantic life has been going. The Wheel of Fortune suggests this may have been someone who, as the English would say, dilly-dallied, I think is, you know, when they drag their feet. This is someone who was sort of in and out, in and out, in and out, going around and round. I say that because it's here with the Hanged Man. So I do feel like this is someone who has hit the exit a few times and then come back around only to delay. It's like the wheels have been moving so slowly that they're squeaking. I think this is a lot to do with the Jupiter retrograde cycle that we've just been through. This is in your romantic sector, or it was in your romantic sector, and now it's going direct. So this is in the past position. You may have found a lot of old friends have come through. Childhood friends came through during the retrograde period. Past lovers, of course, when Jupiter's retrograding in your house of romance, are going to reappear. But there's a lot of retrograding energy, so a lot of past people were probably coming in and out of the picture, particularly the fixed signs, as they say, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius, or fire signs. Some of you have met a fire sign, because this there's a lot of people in this reading. There's a King of Wands and a Queen of Swords. I think the Queen of Swords is a lot to do with your mentality of where you're at. You're maybe romantically interested in a fire sign, or you've been thinking about a fire sign. Now, the Wands here suggest that there is a spark igniting, whether it's reigniting or it is something new. I do feel like there is a chance that you're going to be getting something that you really want, provided you remove something else, because this is with the Death card. A lot of the time, in the law of attraction and the laws of the universe, your best chance of getting something new or something that you really want is to make room for it in your life. So, Cancer, if you are working non-stop, you may not have room for the relationship you want. If you are investing all your time and energy in a relationship, you may not be finding that you're having your finances aren't improving because you're so busy concentrating on a relationship or lack thereof. You have to have a little bit more balance in what it is that you're doing, because you're holding back from love, or you're holding back from making a choice in love. When I see the Four of Pentacles, it's protecting yourself from love. There is a very guarded energy coming up here. It could be to do, I do feel a lot of you dealt with a fire sign in the past, whether this was a Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aries, but they're having repercussions of what they've done to you. You're going through the repercussions with this person, because this guy is right beside the Three of Swords. And typically when a court card comes up with them, they're the responsible person for that energy. So I feel like a fire sign may have burned you or left you out in the cold, and there's something that you didn't know about this person. So keep your eyes open. There's going to be a full moon in Pisces at the end of the month. I believe it's the 26th. And that's fellow sister sign, Pisces water energy. The moon is a Pisces card. What comes out around the full moon may be significant. It may be surprising. For some of you that are dealing with a water sign, I feel like it may be a positive surprise. Some of you may get engaged. Some of you may find love in the strangest of places. For those of you dealing with a fire sign, I feel like there is a degree of withholding information that is quite significant that you need. I think this person may be sort of pulling the wool over your eyes. I think they have a potential to hurt you if they haven't already. This is if they've hurt you already. I think if you're dealing with somebody in your life, you may have an inkling they're up to something. Some of you, for some reason, are having a surprise party. Sometimes, and I've seen the moon come up before for somebody whose girlfriend was throwing them a surprise party, and when he saw the moon card, he was terrified because it means there's something that you don't know, and he was wondering what it was. And it was actually a surprise party, but you couldn't tell him, so I probably spoiled that for some people. Some of you are maybe planning a surprise party, but there is an element of surprise coming up, and I feel like for a lot of you it's positive. Regarding a fire sign, I think there is a potential for them to hurt you, and be wary of someone that's coming in and out of your life and draining you financially. Don't be investing massive amounts of money in your finances. You're getting back to feeling a little bit better at the end of the month. And I say a little bit, but I mean a lot, really. You're getting back to feeling more like yourself by the end of the month. Your finances improve, but it's very dependent on whether or not you can create a separation from you and someone who is draining you, whether it's financially, whether it's emotionally, or whether it's mentally. I do see that as a fire energy, but it can be their moon or rising. There's a very pleasant surprise for most of you at the end of the month, but there is also a need to stay on your toes and keep your eyes and ears open. When Mercury goes direct on the 20th and the full moon comes out on the 26th, you're going to be learning things you didn't know and you didn't expect, okay? So keep your eyes and ears open towards the end of the month for things to transpire. There's a lot of hope in this situation, but for some of you, there is a need not to go into relationships blindly. You may have to leave something behind for this positive surprise to come in, okay? So I hope you enjoyed that reading, Cancer, and I'll see you in September.